Let's have a look at some Hot Wheels and some Matchbox. Okay then, so first up, got this Matchbox Star Wars The Silencer, or TIE Silencer, Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer. These are in Poundland, so yeah, that actually cost me £1. Yeah, well there you go. Probably about £5 originally. So interesting. I got it really because I just wanted to show you that you can get these in Poundland. Next up, we have finally this piece here. Oh yes, this is the Indy 500 oval with the golf coloration on it. My one unfortunately has a bit of a tampo slip, so I'll look on the back there. Nothing really exciting. Legends of Speed. So I don't know how fast these go, but you're looking at least 100 miles an hour, isn't it? Maybe 150. This particular one, who knows? But there you go, that's how it should look. And it does look rather cool. And of course, we're only getting these because they've got golf logos on. Nah, not really. I quite like this piece actually. It's a very realistic looking Indy car. And a nice little release from Matchbox, from Hot Wheels. I haven't seen it for quite a while actually. Woohoo! I had to pick myself up one of these. This is a Pagani Huayra Roadster. Another one of from my realistic cars collection from Hot Wheels. As you notice, I do tend to pick up the realistic releases unless something exciting or different comes my way that I haven't seen before. So let's have a look around the Huayra. First and most striking thing is the see-through interior, which gives the impression that is kind of very luxurious actually. It looks sumptuous. It reflects nicely on the glass even. It's not a bad representation of the beast. Of course lacking some rear view mirrors. But generally Hot Wheels do a good job, and I do like the fact that it's got the tampos in the right place. Could have done with some exhaust ports, but I'm not moaning really. It's a Hot Wheel. And you'd say, oh, it costs $1, but actually no, they cost about £1.75. All the short cards that you see are £1.75, which or thereabouts. Any long cards is £1 from Poundland, basically. That's a nice little decal on the side there. Now that's interesting as well. That's a decal. So there you go. Very nicely themed out and coloured, and yes, a nice piece. Experimotors series. This is 8 of 10. This is the Skull Shaker, or better known to most people as a Bone Shaker, but it's been cartoonalized. There we go, Experimotors 2018. And I liked it because it's got a big head man in there, and I do like my big head men. I've kind of been collecting big heads through the ages, and this is no exception. So there we go, we've got quite an interesting looking man there. And he moves around, and I'm guessing that he's got the ability to move due to this something going on here. Let's have a little click. Oh, there he goes, look. So there you go. This is a must-have probably for all Bone Shaker collectors. And I'm not necessarily a Bone Shaker collector, but I do like to get all the variations of the Bone Shaker, just to say that I've got one. There you go. So I have got the off-road one, I have got the Joker one, and I've got, yeah, do you know what I mean? So there we go. Look at that. And this one's got a little cat on the front, or a cat skull or something. Wow. Very interesting. For £1, another taxi, yes please. So that's the latest incarnations of what you can get in our Poundland. I think that goes back a few years now, probably last year's piece. I remember reviewing that when it came along. Very nice. You can't have too many yellow taxi cabs though. So again, it's one of those things, it's like having a military piece. And I've got a Subseeker for £1. Why not? So have a look at the Subseeker. There we go, on the back. International situation, nothing special. The front's much more interesting. Loving all the bubbles over that. And there it is. So let's have a look at the Subseeker. I think I've explained in a previous video very briefly that I kind of collect submersible vehicles for no particular reason other than the fact that they're just unusual. And there you go. This one's quite unusual. The majority of it is actually made of plastic. There we go, 2016. It's been around for a while. I like these little floaty fan things, so you can imagine it going through the water. Looking at the top there, looking at your old octopuses and your squids, and then taking your photographs down the front there in the observation area. I'm not so sure about the rear, but anyway, there you go, a Subseeker. I could not believe it. Now this one I think had been sitting in my Asda for months and months, and no one had seen it. I hadn't seen it. I've been looking for it, couldn't find it. Let's have a look at the back there. See, that says K35, and that doesn't say anything at all. Neither does that. What on L? So it's been around for quite a while. My guess is that it's got lost underneath the shelves, and but anyway, it'd been waiting for me, hiding specially from the world so that I could purchase it. And here it is. Let's have a look at it. Everybody's seen this thing except for me. I do like the way it's been tempoed up. It's got a little oh look, it tells you how fast you went. Like 10, that's too slow. 90, oh, that's definitely too fast. What's that one say? 0, get out. That means it must stop. So obviously that's the national speed limit up there, 45 miles per hour. Let's hope. Oh look, if someone's doing 50, they're in trouble. So that's what that's all about. A very nice little piece from Matchbox, and I'm sure it can be towed around. What's it actually called? The Speed Trapper. Oh wow, that must be the camera there. Look, woo, liking it a lot. Speed Trapper. That is awesome. I'm wondering what police vehicle can tow that. A couple of new models. Right, let's do that one. This one's not that new. This is well, it's a new colour, isn't it? Let's face it. And I kept seeing it, and I thought, oh, go on then. It's the Matchbox Beetle. I do have a Beetle from a while ago, from the same casting, from the 60 year series. But this is nice to see it in blue. Really nice to see it in blue. Of course, this is your typical bug. Very nice. It's got the special roof on it as well, which you need if you wanted to have a Herbie. But I love the way this has been tempoed. Really, really sharp. Good detail from Matchbox on this one. Done a very good job. And of course, it's got a little tow hook, so it means it can tow our Speed Trapper. Lovely old piece, that. Here we go, this is a new one. It's even the 65th anniversary piece, and it's all going on. This is the, goodness me, what is this? This is the Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe, and another miniaturized vehicle. Definitely not 164, but still very nice nonetheless. I'm loving the tempos. Matchbox do tempos so well, and this is no exception. Wow. Stocky little piece. Kind of probably about the same scale as the Civic that was out the last time I was on this. Funny little scale. Of course, they don't put the scales on the base anymore. Why bother? 2015 Mercedes-Benz. There we go. Released 2017, so it's pretty brand new. Of course, I'm sure lots of people will just be buying it for these wheels. One of the favourite Matchbox wheel out there for you customizers. There you go. I do like it actually. I'm loving this Mercedes license that Mattel have got overall, because they are releasing some very cool vehicles now. Even though they're not all the same scale, that's okay. Great detail. Very nice. Well, before you can see a glass of water. In fact, well, it's almost a pint of water. And here we have the the World Expedition vehicle. Going to see how it submerses. Now, I haven't done this before, so this is all brand new. Let's see how it goes down. I'm hoping that it's got enough little surfaces inside to make it realistic, but I've got a feeling it's going to go down tail end. Well, the big blue end down first. It's all made of metal. Here we go. Oh no, it's submersed rather badly. Okay, we're back again. Let's see if I can debubblize it. So hopefully destabilize it a little bit. Will it go down as badly as it just did? It literally flipped over. Here we go again. Well, that's a lot better. Anyone remember this one? I think we need to go and rescue the other one. Let's go and see if it works. Oh, that's a lot better.
I'm going to show you some of the models that Chris was begging me for, Mr. Count 5, to show you the completed refurbishments. Sorry about any background noise, that's my neighbours. It's Bank Holiday Monday here in London and in the UK, so everybody's out and about and making lots of noise. So here we start with the Lesney Matchbox Pickford removal van, otherwise known as a Guy Vixen, as it says there. I'd sprayed this gold. It's not the gold that this particular version would have been done in. It would have been like a buttery sort of gold colour, but I didn't have that colour and I didn't want it to look too much like the original in case it fell into the wrong hands at any point and someone tried to pass it off as a rare one, because this is one of the rarest Matchbox vehicles you can get, because it was done as a Code 3. In other words, they came out of the Matchbox factory, I think just painted, but with no decal. Decals are applied by this department store on the south coast of England called Beals, and they had a separate division called Bealsons, and this would have been handed out in a plain cardboard box. It just simply said, "It's a pleasure," with this star on it, and handed out to customers who'd obviously made a bit of a spend or had a kid with them or were behaving themselves, or I don't know why they handed them out. But there was a few thousand that went out. They are incredibly rare because most of them got bashed up by the little brats who had them. If you ever see one of these, be very careful. For starters, if it has grey wheels like this one, it's not the real deal, because all the Bealsons ones that were done had black plastic wheels. This is an early version of this particular casting with the grey plastic wheels. These decals are from Steve Flowers Model Supplies. And they were a devil to put on, because it was a complete decal, just this circle and this bar here. Trying to get it on was a nightmare. As you can see, I had a cock up on this side, and on the second go with this one I separated the circle and the bar away from each other, so it made it a little bit easier, but it was a devil. Even the tips of those stars of the particular starburst has gone. This starburst is actually quite interesting. It was very much a symbol used in the 60s. This model would have originated in the mid-60s, I believe. There was a television station called Associated Rediffusion, and they used a star very similar to this. So any of your older viewers of Mr. K5 may recognise that symbol. It was used in advert breaks just before commercials on television in this country back in the day, spinning around, I think. So I don't know, it was obviously to convey excitement, brightness and vibrancy, and this is nice and gold, it's quite vibrant. So this is all done from its knackered state, which was in a sort of green, its original green. I quite like this. I'm not going to paint the lights and radiators because on the original they weren't, and I quite like it like this. It just looks basic. Nice. I've shown you this one before, but it was in the same batch that I got from the gentleman who got it from the auction. So I'll just chuck that in there. This is the Ford Transit Martin Walter Doormobile. Okay, which has come out very nice and lovely and shiny, sparkly. And the Ferrari, which is now all complete because I've got the windscreen glazing unit. That came from Steve Flowers as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Flowers. Super duper. And let's just finish with this, which is the Comma Ice Cream Canteen by Matchbox Leslie from the early 1960s. If you ever see one in pink, it's one of mine, or it's a fake that's trying to make itself look like a colour trial, because this is only ever done in blue, a light blue and a creamy white colour. So pink I don't believe was ever done, because Lions Made never had pink trucks to my knowledge. That was usually Tony Bell, okay, which had the pink trucks. So all the interesting things that they served: what's that? Wafers, cones, bars, lollies, ice poles. It says what it is. It's a ice pole with flavouring, choc ices, family bricks and dairy ice cream. Some of the older viewers may remember family bricks. Basically it was a brick of ice cream that was wrapped in cardboard. You took the cardboard off, sliced it into sections for each member of the family and dished it out. And I don't know whether they still exist, perhaps they do. So the gentleman inside there will complete with his cone that he's just served from the dispenser on the wall there. I think that's come out very nice actually, and it's one of my better efforts in my humble opinion of my own work. Nice and shiny. I'm just going to show you this man here because he made an appearance last year in this, which was my entry for the Matchbox custom competition. Okay, a lot of you, if you're on Instagram, you look at the hashtag Matchbox custom contest, will see that. They run it every year, or they have done for the last 2 years. I don't know whether it's going to happen this year. I won't go into the details, but it's all explained. There he is in all his glory, painted, and now he's progressed from ice creams to beer. You can see that tiny little beer bottle, which I got from a model supply shop, and I've got some more somewhere, so I need to stick some more in there. Having a wonderful time, and he's gone Japanese. So he appeared in 1962 and then in 2017, serving 2 different age groups for things that they really like on a bank holiday when it's sunny. And with that thought, I shall say goodbye and wish everybody a good day. Bye bye.
yes, I've got myself some green light VWs to share with you. Now this one I bought quite a long time ago, probably a couple, I don't know. I got it in Florida anyway when I was last in Florida. And I got it from the Ron John Surf Shop. And this is a special vehicle that you could only purchase at that time, which is a few years ago now, I guess. It definitely wasn't last year, it must have been the year before last. And I think there's a new one out, which hopefully when I go to Florida this year, I will get. So there's this piece, and I also found these two. Now they're not normally available in the UK. These are vehicles that I found in my local shop. He lets me have a look through stuff that people bring to the shop, and I buy them. So I bought this one last month. I didn't show it to you last month because I wanted to buy another one this month, because I've been waiting to go to the seaside and I want to take pictures of these two down at the seaside for my show. But I'm going to open them up and we're going to have a look around them all. Vehicles are from Series 2, and Series 2 came out, well, let's have a look, shall we? Came out in 2015, so that's actually older than the Ron John vehicle, which I think it says here came out in 2016. And there you go. So they are pretty old actually. So we can look at some old green light action here. I'm very intrigued indeed. You can see on the back there, there's some black vehicles. I wonder if they're the special black ones that come out. But anyway, who knows? I like that. They're all VWs anyway. Cool. Just check it out. Of course, I've cut it open now. And have a shifty inside. Oh, yes, I can't beat the way green light package their stuff. It's always really, really tight. Hasn't changed, obviously, since 2015. We're now in 2018. Oh, yes. Metal base. Nice little rubber tyres on there. Very realistic looking wheels. All in all, very cool looking piece. This is kind of how most people see these campers, or have seen them. This is how I remember them anyway. This one's set up for the German side. Of course, in the UK they switch everything around, which must be very expensive, and put the door on this side for us English people. One feature I am noticing a lot is the size of that steering wheel. Look at that, that's a beast. Must be a very, very skinny driver or someone who just needs a big steering wheel. But anyway, that's that one. And here is the, of course, I didn't even say what that was called. That one was called the 1974 Type 2 bus. So it's very basic. Probably my favourite out of the two, actually. And this one is the 1978 Volkswagen Type 2. So this must have been, my goodness me, Champagne edition. So this must have been the end of the line for this vehicle, the Type 2, because I'm sure the Type 3 started coming along in, well, it's an 80s vehicle, isn't it, the Type 3? So they kept this one going for quite a long time, and this is still running on the old Beetle chassis. Wow. Oh, this is a nice piece. Actually, in the hand, a lot nicer. It's got a strange bit of flashing, I'm guessing, from something inside the window there. Again, it's featuring the monster steering wheel. But all in all, a lovely piece, and somewhat clashing with my background. Lovely, lovely thing. I love those orange wheels. Metal base yet again. Just compare the bases, because you're not going to see this a lot. Got little code numbers on there. Lovely things. Let's give them a spin, shall we? Now, this is a rather nice thing to do, just so I get my fingers out of the way and we can really enjoy some of the beautiful detailing that is on this piece. Those headlamps are just awesome. Definite inserts as well. A very unusual green light pursuit, inserting the headlamps on them, on the pieces. I feel very privileged to own this particular piece, given that it's pretty old now and it's probably quite highly sought after by VW enthusiasts. Beautiful tampos all round. Oh yes, and there you can see the the markings at the rear. It's just phenomenal. And you know that Greenlight have spared no efforts in order to bring us what can only be considered a perfect example of the 1974 camper. And that orange on there is just so authentic. An absolute mind-blowing piece, and I love those little white hubs. There would be people out there tempted, I'm sure, to steal those hubs and use them on their other VWs, but I can assure you I'm going to keep these ones as they are, because it really is just sumptuous. And let's have a look at the Champagne edition, and I'm going to leave the other vehicle next to it because I'd like to compare the oranges, and that orange is a lot deeper, and as you can see clashes a lot with that basic orange at the background, so it's a completely different orange. As far as differences go, from the 78 to the 74, not a lot, to be honest. Basically the same front ends. Both have nicely chromed windscreen wipers. Both sharing very similar rear view mirrors. Both have doors on the same side. There's also a little fuel filler caps on the same side as well. Not a lot of difference really overall from the two vehicles. I mean, one has obviously got a roof rack, but I'm looking at the main body of the vehicles, and yeah, these are pleasingly, except for I can now see one very small fault on the Champagne. There's got a little nick in the paint. Overall, very nice piece of Greenlight. There has been a period in between these vehicles, and very recently where Greenlights have been coming out with little smidges of quality control, but these are very well done indeed. Very pleased with them. And there we go. Can't really say too much other than that they're just amazing. Well, this is K5 saying thank you all for watching and checking out my haul. Thank you very much to Mark, and thanks for tuning in. It's K5 saying.